Hi guys, I'm here with Stuart from Breath Inspired here in Bangkok, Thailand. And this is one of my go-to places, and I'm really focused on learning more about breathing and working on my own breath work. So I thought I'd use this time that I'm here now in Thailand to talk to Stuart a little bit about how he got involved with breath work and maybe perhaps what Breath Inspired is about.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I could talk forever about breath work, but my start in the whole thing was I had burnout. So working in finance, stressful career, stressful lifestyle. I ended up quitting my job, went to the Amazon jungle, went to an ayahuasca retreat. It was such a mind-blowing experience, frightening, but also made me really realize that I'm out of touch with my own emotional state. In the jungle, one of the guys there told me about the Wim Hof method. I'd never heard about it. I heard of the Iceman. So I ended up leaving the Amazon jungle and I went to a Wim Hof method expedition in Poland where we hiked up the mountain in minus 20 degrees just in our shorts. We did the ice bath, the cold plunge. But it was actually when I did the first breathing session with Wim that it blew my mind. I remember coming out of it thinking, wow, that reminded me of the same effect I got from the ayahuasca. That was like an atomic bomb version. But the breathing felt like, I call it a reset. It felt like it reset my emotional state, reset my connection with my mind and body, sort of prioritize things in my life. And the breathing seemed to me like a little version of that. So straight away I was hooked. So I've learned to love the ice bath since then, but it was actually the breathing which really hooked me. So then straight after that, I went and trained to be an oxygen advantage instructor. That's more for sports performance based on the Potato method. Then I heard about Stig Sevensson, 3-time world champion freediver. He had this training program called Breathology. So I went and became a breathology instructor. And I thought I knew it all then. I thought I knew everything about breath work. And then I came across Dan Brule, who we've discussed is known as the Bruce Lee of breath work, because he takes all these techniques from different cultures, different backgrounds. He brings them all into a training program, like he accesses anything that's available. And I went to one of his week-long events, and that completely blew my mind. I had no idea how deep, how broad, how wide the whole world of breathwork. So since then, I've just been on a mission, one, to learn it for myself, and then teach others how to implement that in their daily life. It could be just how to stay calm being a new mum, all the way to an elite level athlete. I've trained some of the top CrossFit guys here. We've taught over 4,000 people now the Wim Hof method and other breathing techniques. And yeah, so it's just my passion now to uncover and to clarify all this breath work, because there's a lot of information out there, but I wanted to understand the roots of it, what's happening at a chemical and biological level, look for the science which proves all this, but more importantly, put it into practice and teach others.
I think the work that you're doing is really inspirational because I feel like there's a movement where a lot of us are now searching, right, to find more authenticity with ourselves. And I think breath is one way that we find ourselves. I'm kind of curious, you've had so many people come through and learn from you. Is there any advice that you would have for someone that's just on the outside looking in? And there might be some hesitation or some kind of concern that doesn't let them, right, really use this capability. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, sure. I think you can sort of look at it in the world of wellness and health. So, for example, I am not attracted in any way to do yoga. Even though my wife is a yoga teacher, I hate it. However, doing some deadlifts or some intense training or Spartan race, something like that, I love all that stuff. So I think all these practices and techniques and modalities, they attract different types of people, and that's what's brilliant about breath work, is that you've got breath work just simply to down-regulate, to be calm. Then you've got breath work, how to improve your sporting performance. Then you've got breath work for spiritual purposes. And then you've got everything in between. So if someone's never specifically gone to a breath work training course or an event, I would say first learn online, maybe use an app, some basic stuff like box breathing. That's the most well-known technique. Breathing in for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 4 seconds, exhaling 4, holding for 4. Like Mark Divine, ex-Marine, he talks about the benefits of box breathing. That's a very simple way to start. But what I did love about the Wim Hof method, and I still do, is that someone who doesn't have the perfect technique, doesn't know much about the breathing, if you did a Wim Hof method breathing session, you're going to notice some shift physically, emotionally, could be in your mind, or it could be memories or thoughts, whatever. And that's what actually hooked me. It was actually doing the Wim Hof method for the first time and then going, oh my God, can just controlling how you breathe have such a profound impact? And the people that come, some people come and they say, oh, my body feels great. Some people come and say, wow, my mind feels clearer. Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own things going on in their life. The Wim Hof method breathing is going to make you feel some shift. And that's what I like about it.
So, not only do I think of Wim Hof with breathing, but of course there's the scary cold part.
Yeah.
Right? What would you say to folks about that part?
So always, like with cold exposure ice bath, it's super popular at the moment, and I completely understand the hype behind it. First of all, always remember safety. When things are new and people get excited about things, you tend to, not everyone, some people go a little bit crazy, but at the end of the day, we're doing the cold exposure, the ice bath part for health and wellness. We want to be healthy. So you want to try to maximize the benefits and have zero risks. So I think if you're going to do cold exposure in extreme states, a really cold ice bath or in nature, always at least start with some official certification trained person. There's winter swimming groups around the world, you've got the Wim Hof method instructors around the world. There's many instructors doing it. So definitely start with some professional training, go to something guided, and then decide to do it regular. I always advise people to have someone watching you, and it's not a competition, especially, you're in martial arts and we train a lot of CrossFit athletes. A lot of people get into it thinking it's a competition. How much can I push myself? How much I want to beat my friend? I want to beat my wife? I want to beat my husband, right? There should be no competition in it, because actually you maximize a lot of the benefits. You maximize the benefits from something called interoception, actually learning how to look inwards, connect your mind and body, relax into the stressor of the cold. However, you could just do an ice bath and just do 2 minutes just for the anti-inflammatory effects. So safety is important. If you have any cardiovascular disease or you're on any certain medication, ask your doctor, they will know what's best. And you don't need to be extreme. I know here, when you come here, we use 2,000 kilograms of ice, 0 degrees, but you came to our 6-hour-long training, so it's a big build-up. But if someone's not going to go to a full workshop and it's at a spa or a gym, you don't need to be super cold. Anything below 15 degrees Celsius is going to give benefits. So start slow. Remember, it's not a challenge, and always remember safety.
Well, Stuart, I would tell you that the breathing techniques, the cold exposure for me in my life has changed my life.
Okay.
And I can't say enough about your organization, the professionalism that you apply is bar none. Really some of the best exposure to knowledge that I've had, and actually a really life-changing kind of experience. And so I just want to say to you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
For really finding this as your passion and then making that something. And I would just want to say to you guys that if you're ever in Bangkok, this is the place to come, Breath Inspired. And you're a level 2 instructor.
We named it to be advanced instructor.
Okay.
So that's like doing a different type of breathing technique for higher states of consciousness, some more advanced cold exposure stuff. But I'm also certified in multiple other things as well, like other breathing modalities. But in the US, you're so lucky. You have so many places to try these out. A lot of ice bath things are getting set up. A lot of great breath workers in there. I mean, I can send some links of some of the guys I know. But yeah, so certification is great because we know how to keep people safe. But for someone who wants it just part of their life, there's so many places you can go.
Again, I'm just really grateful that you're here and able to give your knowledge. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great to have you.
All right, guys.